This week on the Analog Circle podcast, the Xbox XO conference is coming back this year. Holy smoke! We find out when Fallout 76's beta is going to start. PlayStation is coming out with a Red Dead Redemption 2 bundle. Could we see Metroid, the next Metroid game, before the end of the year? As well as Bungie, they have just filed for a new trademark for a new project. All of these stories and a gang more in episode 88 of the Analog Circle podcast. I am your host, Kiaun Mitchell, and as always, I truly appreciate you guys coming out here to spend a little bit of time with me, because you could have been anywhere else, but we're here together. And I want to let you guys know before I get into the podcast, for you guys that listen regularly, I truly appreciate the support and the love. Good gracious. You guys know that I love to keep the podcast to an hour or shorter. But this week, man, we got quite a bit of news to cover. So I'm giving you guys a disclaimer. This episode is going to be quite a bit longer than an hour. We're going to see how it goes. But in old school fashion of the podcast, if you want to be a part of the show, you want to get some things off your chest, you want to express yourself, you want to ask me some questions, you want to tell the listeners how you feel, you can do that two different ways. Either you can email the show by emailing the Analog Circle podcast at gmail.com. Use that, or you can call in and do it verbally at 443-216-9934. Go ahead, use those two outlets and get it off your chest. But as always, let's start the podcast off with the feedback section, because I love it and I would love for you to be a part of it as well. But Mr. Cody Clark, I tell you, brother, God dog, you are the heartbeat, man, and I mean it, of this section of the podcast. So let's go ahead and get into Mr. Cody Clark's email this week. Now, the title of his email is Super Ninja Play Box Wii Station Ukaliko Vision. Man, that is a mouthful, brother, and I love it. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. He says that Captain Marvel preview, though, with the Blockbuster logo to roll us back to the 90s. Ha! Wow, the feels. He said, I'm a bit salty at the fact that Sony sort of cornered Spider-Man and kept it to themselves. Like, sure, they can sell maybe 70 million copies. Sure. I mean, I doubt that. I bet it will break the 10 million copy sold range. But if they threw it out on the Xbox One, I am sure it would be one of those record-breaking games. Maybe not GTA 5, but still. Sometimes I think the console war is stupid because it generates hate and irrational verbal combat between fans and all that. It was fun when systems poked fun at each other, a la Xbox and Nintendo being like, and I quote, wanna play Fortnite? That can be cool. But otherwise, Sony has a stranglehold on VR. Microsoft was like, yeah, no. And Nintendo was like, what? Handheld? In some, I like that, Cody. God, dog. In some ways, it starts to go all right, brother. You hit me with one of these curveball words, brother. Gangrenous, man. And it hurts everybody. I kind of feel that was what happened to the Kinect. Was it the bee's knees? No, but it was neat and had some uses. But the Sony side of the equation just screamed at how pointless and wasteful and stupid it was. And people listen. If you can make enough noise, even if you are totally wrong, you can change the topic or confuse people. Happens in politics, science, happens in gaming, and all other kinds of life. The free market can be great, but it can also be a mean, mean place. I think it matters how the leadership of each studio holds themselves. When people talk trash, it sort of fans the flames. Looking at you, Cliffy B. But when you have a Major Nelson or the guys at the top of Nintendo, they sort of hold a respect and can make it tolerable. I don't know. Stuff is hard. Look at EA of 89 versus EA of 2018. Look where Sega's right now versus in 94. 3DO, Jaguar, Atari, NEC, Turbo Graphics. Too many to name. Cody Clark, like I say every week, brother, and I mean, I do sound like a broke-in record. I appreciate these emails, brother. Now, for any of you listeners out there that don't know, last week, I didn't really ask a question, but I was making a statement. I said the console war, it is necessary. But like Cody Clark said, sometimes when it gets to the fanboys, oh, you fannies out there, man, you guys can just be so toxic and venomous with your words. I mean, you start talking about people's grandparents, children, and mothers. Oh my gracious. You guys are too much. But man, I truly think that it's definitely something that we need. And like I said, take the fanboyism out of it. Have those two companies, just like Cody said, have the two companies going at one another. Everybody knows the famous gaming quote. What was it? Sega does what Nintendo don't. Oh man, you talk about bullets being shot in Nintendo's face. Or when they had, when Sony had Crash Bandicoot pulling up to Nintendo, oh, he pulled up on him with a doggone speakerphone talking about, come on out, plumber boy. Oh, those days were great. Oh man, they were awesome. That's all I was saying. I want to get back to that time, but people are so sensitive. Oh, you can't do that. You can't say that about the company. Oh, that's just mean-spirited. It's like, come on, man, it's competition. Even when these NFL teams are playing each other, they're tackling. If somebody gets hurt, it's just part of course. It's just part of the game. Everybody's trying to be number one, and these companies are doing whatever they can to keep that spot or get that spot. So what does that do for us, the consumer? It works out great. Because we get things like Game Pass. We get the PlayStation Now being able to download games because Microsoft is making it so you can download games on their service. Hopefully Nintendo will catch up because God dog, we're going to get into them a little later. But like I said, Cody Clark, this was absolutely excellent. And I did get your other email, brother, where you were talking about, matter of fact, I'm going to bring it up right here. It's right here. Now, Cody has sent in another email. He said, the title of this one was, Man, Online Like How Now? Now he says, oh man, I like that. He says, man, hearing you talk about the Nintendo Online subscription thing went from being like, this sounds sort of kooky. And now I'm like, no way in hell. If Microsoft tried this, they would be crucified. I completely agree. Checking in every 24 hours or every 48 hours. Nobody wants to do a check-in, okay? Nobody is trying to do that and check the temperature, all right? Everybody pays for the subscription. You shouldn't have to check in, but some people said it has to do with DRM and any of that mess. Nintendo, fix it. Okay, but we got some Nintendo news, some updates on some things that we're going to get into. But nonetheless, Mr. Cody Clark, truly appreciate this, brother. And please keep on emailing the show. And thank you so much. Now, guys, let's get into what I've been into. Oh, man, I got quite a bit to report to y'all this week. I actually picked up the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle. Oh, let me tell you something, brother. Man, you talk about flashbacks to the 80s and the early 90s. Oh, man, I had played Captain Commando. I got to say, man, I was pumped up when I was talking about Captain Commando. Oh, that sucked. Oh, I didn't like it. Oh man, it's a beat 'em up, but I wasn't feeling it. A baby in a doggone mech suit. I'm like, what the heck is this? No, I don't feel that. But, Captain Commando, X that off your list. I went on and played Knights of the Round. That was hard. Oh, that was dope. Had a real good time with Knights of the Round. That was fantastic. I also had to go ahead and play Final Fight. And oh man, that game has aged well and quite possibly is one of the best playing games in that bundle. And the crazy part about it is Final Fight is the oldest game in the bundle. And it holds up absolutely fantastic. So I had a great time with that. Also, I want to let you guys know this. When you pick up the bundle, they have this artwork in there. I'd actually stream Knights of the Round. Go ahead to the YouTube channel. It's the Analog Circle. Go ahead over there, subscribe, and enjoy yourself, brothers and sisters, please. Thank you. But I went on over there and recorded, but they have this art gallery in there. It's really cool. I also like the fact that you just got unlimited continue. So if it's any game that you ever struggling with in the arcade that may be on this list, you will get to the end of it. I guarantee it. You're going to get to the end. So I had a wonderful time. Definitely worth the $20. I didn't get into the other 5 games on the, in the bundle. And I already feel like I got my money's worth. It's been fantastic. Great times. Oh, and I want to let you guys know this as well. This is not a remaster. This isn't a up-res version. I mean, what these games look like back in 94, back in 89, that is exactly what you're getting. Big sprites. Okay, so don't think it was remastered or anything like that. They didn't redo the music or remix it or update it or anything. No, it is exactly what it was back then today. So don't go into this thinking that's what you're gonna get. But I mean, it was worth the $20 for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a ton of fun. Outside of the that bundle, the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, I started playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Now, I've heard so many people being really cool off of this game, like, I missed a step, I wasn't feeling it, it just wasn't the same feel as the other two. Rise was a much better game. I want to put a disclaimer out there and say, I'm not that far into the game. I actually recorded this on the YouTube channel as well. Go over there, check it out. Quality could be a little better though. I can't front on that. Got to work on that. But what I played, I'm gonna tell you, the introduction is doggone. It's a roller coaster. The way that it starts, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, how the game is gonna shake out, I don't know. I'm literally in the beginning stages of the game. So I can't really speak on it too much, but I can say for right now, what I've seen graphically, it's a very, very nice game. I've actually been in the water. I love that when you get in the water now, you're actually interacting with some of the sea life and it's trying to kill you. It was really good so far, but I mean, any game can start out the first half an hour being amazing, but start to kind of sag and drag in the middle. So we'll have to see what happens as I move on into the game, but good grief. Introduction wise, the first 30 minutes or so, absolutely having a ball. And I know you guys are saying that's bogus, Kiaun. How the world can you even talk about something a half an hour in? Listen, brother, I'm giving you what I got, okay? That's all I got right now to report. But outside of that, I actually went back and tried Forza Horizon 4. And it's crazy because last week I was telling you guys I didn't really like the way it felt. It felt like the cars were on ice. I was drifting way too much. But for some reason, I mean some crazy reason, the doggone demo was calling me back to it like, play me again. And I'm like, man, I really don't want to even get involved because really not into car games. But I went on and picked it up anyway just to see maybe if I was being a little too hard on the game or, you know, not really giving it a real chance. And I gotta tell you, man, God, dog, I hate to be a guy that just doubles back on what he says, but jeez, the game actually, man, the game handles pretty darn good once you get used to it. It's a really, really nice handling game. The game is beautiful. I mean, sheep running everywhere in the field. It's absolutely stunning. Having a great time with it and really, really contemplating picking it up. I mean, 3 is still in the wrapper. I haven't even played Horizon 3 yet. Haven't even opened it up. So how am I going to play 4? But I'm tempted. If Fist of the North Star wasn't coming out this Tuesday, I don't know, brother. I might be picking that up for sure, but I might sidestep and have to get that Fist, on Tuesday, but we'll see what happens. But, outside of that, that's all I was into this week. Not too much more than that, but, as always, that's about it for that, man. But anyway, aside from all of that, let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and get into what you guys all come here for, as well as myself, and that is for the gaming news that went down, and we got a ton of it, people. Let's start off with some very cool PlayStation news. Now, I also want to put another disclaimer out there. Some of these stories may be dated. I tried to get back, couldn't get back in recording time, so some of them are gonna be dated, but we gonna talk about it. All right, we gonna get into it. Now, let's start off with some PlayStation news. Now, Sony is bringing back the system that started it all for them. In Nintendo fashion. Oh, they biting. Oh, man, they Pac-Man biting over here. Cover. Sony will be releasing the PlayStation Classic, which will release December 3rd for $100. Now, it will come preloaded with 20 quote unquote generation defining games in their original format. Now, it will use a virtual memory card for saves, and it will come with 2 PlayStation 1 replica controllers. Now, these are the ones without the analog sticks. Hooch. Now, it will naturally, of course, use HDMI to hook up to your TV, and it's 45% smaller than the original. At this point, all 20 games have not been announced, but as it stands right now, Ridge Racer Type 4, Wild Arms, Final Fantasy VII, Jumping Flash, and Tekken 3 have been confirmed. But check back into the PlayStation blog for the rest of the list. I guess they're going to take it out little by little to give you little nuggets. I think this is, man, I'm a little split on this one. I got to tell you. It is a cool item to have, in my opinion. It's something that, it's a replica system, more of a collector's kind of piece where you can bring it out and enjoy it and have a good time with it and then just put it away. Or you can maybe put it out there as a history lesson for your kids. Oh, this is where we came from to where we are now as far as gaming goes. But, the way that Microsoft, I gotta tell you, they have kind of somewhat, spoiled me a little bit. See, it's a difference. See, Nintendo, to me, for some reason, Nintendo is pulling at my childhood heartstrings. When PlayStation came out, I was about, 95? So I was like 15, maybe 16 years old, still a kid, but it doesn't pull at me like that Nintendo and that Super Nintendo did. I don't know what games they would put on here that would be just so amazing for me, but I know some people are younger that came into gaming with the PlayStation. Maybe this will speak to them. I do think this is cool of them to do, but for me, I don't know. I mean, I kind of wish that they would just bring out these games on their newer consoles and you could just download them. I think that would be awesome because Xbox right now, they're batting 1,000. They have all three of their consoles under one roof right now, which is absolutely stunning. Nintendo is working on it. I mean, we've heard rumors. Nothing is for certain. And PlayStation, they're doing what they can do. I mean, they have PlayStation 3 games on the PS4. They have a few of the PlayStation 1 games on there, I believe, or PlayStation 2, maybe. And, you know, they're trying to piece it together, but I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of this one. I'm just really not. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see if some of these other games might pull me in. But for now, it's not really my stick. But moving on to the next story. Now, sticking with the classic theme. Sega announced the release of the Sega Genesis Here we got dog. Man, Nintendo, you see these guys, they biting your whole steam, man. Goodness gracious. Now, it's called the Sega Genesis Classic. Now, this is going to be for the Nintendo Switch, which will include 50 games. Oh my gosh. 50 games plus in the bundle. Now, Sega also said the collection will include modern upgrades such as online multiplayer, mirror mode, save functionality, and rewind. Now, some of the games are Comic Zone, Altered Beast, Golden Axe 1 through 3, Shadow Dance. Woo! Shadow Dance. That was my joint back in the day, man. Phantasy Star 1 through 4, Streets of Rage 1 through 3, The Revenge of Shinobi. Man, the Revenge of Shinobi. Do any of you guys remember that on the Genesis where you had to fight Spider-Man and Batman, his bosses? Oh, I was blown, man, away when I saw that for the first time. We got Gunstar Heroes, and it's going to be quite a few more. Now, as far as the price, no price has been announced, but other versions have sold for $30. So maybe this will be the case. Now, the classic will release this summer physically and digitally. I gotta tell you, I love what the Switch is doing. I mean, my Switch is still in the box, but man, these things are absolutely great. I mean, being able to take these things on the go. I mean, they're even saying, it's rumors now that, and I didn't really write this down, but I heard about it. Shenmue 1 and 2 are rumored to be coming to the Nintendo Switch, and this is due to the producer saying that he wants to do it. They may have a few obstacles they got to get through to get it onto the console, but it's definitely something that they're looking into actually porting over. So we'll see how that goes. That's still a rumor. It's not 100% confirmed. Just want to put it out there, though. But this is a nice little thing. I mean, hey, you're playing Comic Zone on the go. You're playing Altered Beast on the go. This could be great. Who knows, man? But let's move on to some more news. Now, into some PUBG. Oh, man, I know you guys heard about this already, but we're going to go over it. It looks like PUBG could finally be releasing on the PlayStation 4. Now, according to Twitter user Nebulon, the game is listed on the Korean ratings board, suggesting the game will see the light of day on the console. Now, this has not been confirmed, but I have the website for you guys if you want to check it out. It's www.grac.or.kr. That's the website. You can go on there and check it out. It's definitely a Korean website. So if you don't know how to speak Korean, or read it, I don't know how much work it's going to, how much it's going to help you. But the thing was when I went to the website, you could actually see PUBG in English and PS4 in English. So I was like, oh my gosh, maybe it's some truth to it, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, moving on into this is unfortunate news, man. We had a couple of these this week, but this is a little older too, but I gotta shout out Cody Clark for hitting me up on this one, on Twitter, for this news. Now, it looks like Capcom Vancouver Studios has shut down. Now, this studio is best known for the Dead Rising franchise. Now, here is the statement, and I quote from, who is this from? I don't even know. I just got the quote. He says, "We're sad to announce that effective today, Capcom Vancouver has suspended operations. We want to express our deepest thanks to our team and our fans for all your support." End of quote. Now, because of this shutdown, all progress on projects has been canceled. Now, as a result of this, 158 staff members have been laid off. Man, that is just terrible. Now, according to a note to investors, the shutdown will result in a $40 million loss for Capcom. Goodness gracious. Now, just on a side note, in Japan, the teams have seen success, but no progress will carry over from Vancouver project. So anything that they were working on, it has just been absolutely dismantled. And Capcom was doing so good, man. Gosh. But you know what? Sometimes you got to trim the fat. Sometimes you got to make tough decisions. And, you know, sometimes, hey man, listen, the gaming industry is cutthroat, brother. It is. Look, you better get it together or fall apart. That's basically the game that these poor people are playing, and it's terrible. It's terrible, man. But you know, that's what happens. That's what happens. Hey, it's like Stewie said. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. Sad though, man. Jeez, me Christmas. But moving on to the next story now. Here I go dumpster diving again, man. Oh my gosh, with me and my news stories. Oh jeez. I'll read this off anyway, man. Now, if you suffer from sweat, no. Let me do it like an infomercial. If you suffer from sweaty palms when you game, there might be a solution for you. And it's called Gamer Goo. This project was funded or founded by Justin Clark, who just got tired of wiping his sweaty hands on his pants. What the project or the product promises is to improve your grip on your controller or mouse. The lotion comes in 3 different flavors: cinnamon, orange, and peppermint. You can order it on Amazon for $15.95. It's sitting at a 4-star rating. Man, I tell you, brother, hey, listen, man, sometimes, look, gonna let you peek behind the curtain for a minute, folks. Man, sometimes you're trying to find some stories, something to talk about, and you start news dumpster diving. You start diving in the dumpster of news, brother. And this was it. But I got to tell you, I really thought this was a hoax. I thought it was a joke. I did. I mean, somebody was, I forgot what the article said, but it was something like, hey, do you suffer from sweaty palms? And I'm like, you know, while you're gaming, I'm like, what? Let me click on this and see what this is about. But this is actually real, man. I went on Amazon, checked it out, and it's a real thing, man. Gamer Goo. This guy got tired of doggone getting sweaty hands. My gosh. So if you suffer from this, hey man, go over to Gamer Goo and get you a doggone bottle. You know, maybe that'll help you out. But moving on into some holy smoke. I'm embarrassed. But we're gonna go ahead and move on, man. We're gonna keep the doggone train going. Now back into some more Sony news. Sony continues to give reasons. These guys, they just won't stop. They Buff Daddy out here. Can't stop, won't stop. Now listen to this, man. They keep on giving reasons to pick up the console, whether it's the exclusives or the custom consoles. Now Sony continues to feed this need, for their machine to be number one in your house. And that trend continues because starting on the 31st of September, you will be able to pre-order the Red Dead Redemption 2 bundle, which will include a 1 terabyte PlayStation 4 Pro. Of course, it's going to be a DualShock 4 controller and a physical copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 for $3.99. Now, just to be clear, this is just a bundle and not a custom Red Dead Redemption 2 console. I got to tell you, man, it's like, good gosh, no matter what Sony does, they always, they just give you some incentive, just enough to say, you know what, shoot, man. I mean, I've been thinking about getting one. I get the game for free. I was going to pick the game up anyway. Let me go ahead and cop that, man. Let me go ahead and get it. And then Microsoft has got a doggone Fortnite bundle. What the H is going on, man? My goodness. It's terrible. This is just terrible. But this is what it is, $3.99. I tell you, Red Dead Redemption is looking so good. Can't wait for it, man. It's gonna be amazing. But definitely check it out, get it, enjoy it. Moving on. Now, ever since Best Buy, oh gosh, man, this really hurt me to my heart. Ever since Best Buy got rid of its Gamers Unlock program, which took an additional 20% off your gaming purchase, whether the game was on sale or not. I have been so sad and really hopeful that someone would come up with a similar program. Well, out of all places, Target. Yes, indeed, Target. For all of you mother lovers that are doggone uppity, Target has threw their hat in the ring. Now as it stands right now, this is just a promotion that lasts until September. Oh man, we a day late, brother. We are a day late. Hold on, what's the day, man? Let me see something. Let me check my phone. What is the date? Shoot, we a day late, brother. Oh, no, man. I'm sorry, guys. God, dog. Man, they had it was a sale. I'm going to read it off anyway. But, it was a sale that lasted until September 29th. If you pre-ordered, the following games on Target's website, you would get an additional 30% off, and which was going to come out to about $18. Good gosh. Now, on the list, they had Fallout 76, they had Battlefield, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Spyro Reignited, the trilogy, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Mega Man 11, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Rage 2, Doom Eternal, Red Dead Redemption 2 was on the list. Oh, shucks. Forza 4, good gosh, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. God darn, I fricked up on this one, man. I couldn't record in time. My bad, brother. Hopefully, sometime on Black Friday or leading up to Black Friday, maybe they'll bring this back, because the way that they were wording it, they were saying that maybe this is a test run to see how well it goes over, and maybe, just maybe, this might become a permanent thing. I mean, shoot, you taking $18 off a brand new game? Darn near $20? Good gosh, just bringing it down to 42 beans. Man, it would be absolutely amazing, but we'll see if it sticks. But dag, my bad, man. I wanted to get this out to you guys much sooner than now. But, oh well, no need to dwell on this one. Let's move on. Oh gosh, into some... Man, this news right here, this really took me completely by surprise. And shocking and sad news. Telltale Games is shutting down. God darn. Now, here is what Telltale Studio co-founder Kevin Bruner had to say today. He says, Telltale Games made the difficult decision to begin a majority studio closure following a year marked by insurmountable challenges. A majority of the company's employees were dismissed earlier this morning, with a small group of 25 employees staying on to fulfill the company's obligations to its board and partners. There was another statement given by CEO Pete Hawley. Now, he says it's been an incredibly difficult year for Telltale as we work to set the company on a new course. Unfortunately, we ran out of time trying to get there. We released some of our best content this year and received a tremendous amount of positive feedback, but ultimately that did not translate to sales. With a heavy heart, we watch our friends leave today to spread our brand of storytelling across the games industry. End of quote. So what this basically means is the Walking Dead series will end after the second episode, which is sad because this is the final season. Anybody that was invested ever since the beginning, the lead up is literally leading up to this moment, and it's not going to be finished. I know it was rumors saying that these guys were going to try to get it done. They were going to start a GoFundMe or something like that, but it seems like that's even falling through. So right now, as it stands, the season will not finish. And even to the point where I read somewhere where they were saying that they even stopped selling the final season of The Walking Dead, where episode 2 got ripped from the PC and the consoles, so good gosh, this is really sad. The only game that I ever bought from Telltale was The Wolf Among Us, and the only game I was looking forward to be completely honest with you, was The Wolf Among Us season 2. And that's not gonna happen. It's canceled. And Stranger Things, that got taken off the table and dismantled as well. And let me see, the other 25 employees, like I said, they're going to stay and work on Minecraft story mode. I think that had to do with Netflix, something of that nature, one of those doggone joints. But it was also another shock laid on the employees that there would be no severance pay, and they were encouraged to begin applying for unemployment as soon as possible. Now, it was also said that their health benefits would run out at the end of the month, and they were given only 30 minutes to leave the darn building. I mean, man, look, like I said, the gaming industry is cutthroat. I mean, I'm not in it. I'm only a witness on the outside of it, but good gosh, they're only giving you a half an hour, no severance pay. Your health benefits run out in 30 days, 30 or 31 days. It was some people that actually got there that flew from a whole nother coast to work for the company, and a week later they were just thrown to the wolves like, hey, good luck. Wish you the best. Get it together, get another job, get unemployment. Yeah, that's all we got for you. I know one of the employees, they were saying how they had given so much time away from they sacrificed so much time away from their family, working 60-hour weeks, trying to meet the deadlines, and none of it even mattered. Couldn't even come up with a severance pay package, which was horrible. I mean, it is very sad. I'm sorry to see anybody lose their job. Telltale, they wouldn't, like I said, I had played that demo of The Walking Dead, the final season, and I was thoroughly impressed. I was like, good gosh, this is absolutely great. But I know some of the problem, see, we do, people feel bad. I feel bad about Telltale because I really don't want anybody to be unemployed. I know what that feels like. It is a lot of pressure, and it's a very, very hard hole to get out of sometimes. Sometimes people just are not hiring, even if you have the skill set. I get it. But Telltale, they stuck in that lane too much. They should have, and everybody can say shoulda, woulda, coulda. I mean, I wasn't in it, so of course I don't know how their motto or their company, goals went. But they didn't own any IPs. They were only renting these properties. I mean, the Batman property, Minecraft, The Wolf Among Us, which is, I believe, a Fables comic book, The Walking Dead. These are IPs that they don't own. They never did anything for themselves, made something from the ground up. They never switched up their storytelling to just come up with regular playing games that more people would be attracted to. And I hear that a lot of people are saying, well, Microsoft should pick them up. They should pick Telltale up. I mean, it would be nice if they could pick Telltale up. I don't think it would benefit Microsoft too much because, once again, they don't have any IPs. That's the problem. And Microsoft is going to get the people, but or the name Telltale, but sheesh, what else are you going to get? What other assets are you going to have? I mean, that's like, buying land that a house used to be on. It's like, good grief. Yeah, maybe I can build something, but geez, it would have been nice to have already had, something here to work off of, Maybe that was a bad analogy. Who knows? But nonetheless, Telltale, gee whiz, I wish everybody the best. I hope that everybody lands on their feet. And I know they were starting a hashtag Telltale if you were looking for work, something like that. So the industry is reaching out to some of these guys, and hopefully, these people will land in better places and have great job opportunities in the future. But moving on from this sad news and my long darn rant, my bad. In Nintendo Land news, good old Nintendo. Nintendo has announced a new bundle called the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is up for pre-order. Now, it will cost $360. Let me tell you something. Before I get into the rest of it, Nintendo ain't giving you nothing for free. Nothing at all. If you read, when I read about the PlayStation 4 Pro, it said $399. That's how much the Pro costs anyway. They were throwing in Red Dead Redemption. Nintendo said, frick that. You're going to pay $360. I ain't giving you nothing for free. Heck you mean. Anyway, this bundle is going to come complete with Joy-Cons and a dock that are branded with Super Smash Brothers characters. Now, they're going to give you a download code for the game. These jokers like you so much, they ain't even going to give you the physical. They going to give you a download code. God darn. Now, the console is slated to start shipping on November 2nd, but the code for the game won't become valid until December 7th. So, no early access here, guys. Oh, Nintendo, god darn. I mean, hey, why not bring out a bundle this closer to December 7th so you can include a physical game? Good grief. Nintendo, I tell you, they some mother lovers, man. But anyway, for people that want this, man, go ahead and get it and enjoy yourself. God dog. Now, moving on. Oh, man, here we go into some Milkcom News, aka Capcom, because they milking everything. I mean, sheesh, you lose $40 million. I guess you gotta try to come up with some kind of way to get some of that back. But Capcom is ready to start milking another one of its games that actually started out on the Game Boy Advance. These guys won't be denied. Now, they will be releasing the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, the Switch, and PC as well. Now, this is going to come out sometime in 2019, and no price has been confirmed. I got to be honest with you, though. I've always wondered about the Phoenix Wright games. I mean, I've never been a handheld fan too much, so I've never given it much time or thought. Well, I can't say I haven't given it much thought, but I always thought it was kind of cool to be able to play as a lawyer. I don't know how well the games play, but good grief, they have a ton of sequels, so I'm sure the games have been doing well. If it's priced at the right price point, man, Capcom might just get me, brother. They might get me to jump into this darn franchise that I've been interested in, but have not been too interested to try to pull the trigger on it. So we'll see though. But anyway, 2019, Capcom has a pretty good stacked year. You know, they got Devil May Cry coming out. They got Resident Evil 2 remake, and now they got this coming out. So good for you, Capcom. Make up for that 40 million, baby. Woohoo! Moving on now, let's talk about some more Xbox news. Now, for months, actually, man, I think it's been over a year now, we have been hearing that avatars were coming back. Well, during the Inside Xbox live stream, it was confirmed that avatars will be making their comeback in October. According to Senior Program Manager Randy, what's his last name? Santasio. Now, this is the quote from Mr. Randy Santasio. He says, "We knew we wanted to get rid of gender-specific clothing to give people more freedom to customize. We also wanted to add more skin color options for avatars, and now we offer blue, green, and other creative hues. We took all that feedback to heart. when we started working on the new Xbox avatar characters and editor. End of quote. Now, it's also been said it could be a possibility of you actually being able to use your avatar as your gamer pick. He also continued, Mr. Randy, said that, these changes and thoughts have been in the works for 10 years over the last avatars and stuff like that. Man, I'm rambling too much. Anyway, bottom line, avatars are coming back, people. Oh, man. Oh, so awesome. Not really. Moving on, to the next story. Now, this is some, GTA news. GTA 5 is old as heck, but yet it keeps on charting and it's amazing. NPD, it just can't stop, won't stop, man. Rockefeller Records here, brother. But this is the thing. I just thought, man, I didn't know this. I mean, I'm real slow on the uptake for some things I just don't even think about. I didn't know GTA 5 had cheat codes, man. I mean, you know, I haven't done cheat codes since Game Genie, baby, or the up, down, left, right, BA start era, back on Contra and so many other Konami games back in the day. But, they actually got some darn, codes here. I'm gonna read off some, to you, man. Now, actually, you can actually, what is it, you can not type these in, but, dial them on your phone. At first I was looking and they were saying like square, triangle, up, down, L1, L2. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not doing all that. But for any of you guys out there that have GTA 5, and my goodness, according to NPD, it's everybody. Here's some codes you guys might want to use if you haven't beaten the game yet to make it just slightly easier or more fun. Yeah, attack it how you want to. Now, if you want to get immune to damage, you can type in and now use the cell phone. Yeah, brother. 1-999-724-654-5537. If you want to get all weapons with max ammo, go ahead and type in 1-999-866-587. You want to get some explosive ammo to blow everything up, just boom, blowing everybody to bits and pieces. Go ahead and type this in. It's 1-999, yeah, 3 nines, 1-999-444-439. If you want flaming bullets, I mean, set people on fire on the street. Oh, I'm burning. Oh gosh, I'm burning. Go ahead and type in 1-999-462-363-4279. We got a couple more here. God darn, do I really need to read these off? Let me just go ahead and read this last one. The health and armor. If you want to make sure that you got health and tons of armor on, man, go ahead and type in 1-999-887-853. And, let's see, anything else in here worth, giving you guys? Man, they got a super jump in here. If you want to jump over buildings like mother loving Superman out this mother joint, go ahead and, type in, 1-999-467-8648. God, dog, what was the frickin' point, Kiaun? Sometimes when I read back this stuff, man, I say to myself, what the frick? Moving on, into some updated Nintendo news. Now, this was really cool to hear. Excuse me. Spokesperson did tell IGN from Nintendo, they told IGN, and I quote, if a Nintendo Switch Online membership expires, users won't be able to access their save data cloud backups. However, Nintendo will allow users who resubscribe within 180 days to access their previous save data cloud backup. So this is actually fantastic news. 180 days, what's that, 6 months? There's 91, 20, yeah, 6 months. As long as you resubscribe within that 6 months, you will be able to keep all of your data in the cloud. You guys remember last week I was talking about them actually just deleting it completely. Just, hey, you miss a payment, get the frick off the cloud. You're out. But this is great, man. It's fantastic. Hat goes off to Nintendo for listening to the people out there and making this change relatively fast, very quickly. So nothing more to report on that. But moving on into some Red Dead Redemption 2 news. It looks like more info has come out. I mean, good grief. Information keeps coming out about this game. We're just a couple of weeks away. I got to get in Game of the Year. what do you know? I mean, what do you have? I say, what do you know? I don't know what you know, but what do you have it getting? Anyway, it looks like PS4 owners will be getting exclusive DLC 30 days before Xbox owners. Now, the game will take up, good grief, this is a lot of room. It's going to take up 105 gigabytes of hard drive space, and the game will support up to 32 players on the online multiplayer. I'm hiccuping like a mother lover. Excuse me, y'all. Oh man, unprofessional productions over here. Anyway, this is actually great news. We did hear months ago, probably darn near a year ago, that PlayStation would be getting timed content, some content that wouldn't be available day and date on the Xbox, and we didn't know how long that was going to be. I mean, Destiny, good grief, they had deals where you had to wait a year, 6 months. I mean, just an astronomical amount of time to actually get some of that DLC, and some of it never came over. But at least with Rockstar, you only got to wait 30 days, and then it'll be on the other platforms. But God, dog, this 105 gigabytes, yeesh! I've never heard of a game taking up this much space. So if you are planning on picking up Red Dead Redemption, you make sure that you clean that mother lover off, unless you got a couple terabytes. Thank goodness I got the 4 terabyte hard drive. That thing is carrying right now. I got over 30 games on that hard drive, and it's at like 20%. So, I mean, I highly recommend that if you don't have a big hard drive, if you have the money, and trust me, money, it definitely can make you say, yeah, I'm going to get one, or heck no, I'm just going to make do. But if you have the money, it's definitely worth getting the external hard drive. You can hold so many more games, and you don't even have to worry about it when it's downloading. So, this was good news. 32 players online, nice amount of people. Hopefully this means that they're not going for that battle royale that was rumored to be something they were going to be doing with Red Dead Redemption 2. But, you know, just a couple more weeks and we will definitely be privy as to what's going on. Now, let's move on into some more rumor-verse news. Now, as always, like I say every single time when we get into the rumor-verse, take this with a mustard seed of truth. Now, Jeff Keighley, who is the host and producer of the VGAs, has put a picture up of him, Reggie Fils-Aimé, and another guy. I didn't know who this other guy was, but he said, and I quote, "See you in December." So this does show that Nintendo will be there at the VGAs, but where it gets interesting is if you look closely at Reggie's shirt. I mean, if you're looking real close, you can see a Samus emblem on his shirt partially. So this, oh man, this got the gaming community, man, speculating that Metroid Prime 4 is going to debut at the VGAs. Now, we will see, but if you think about it, this wouldn't be, if this does happen, once again, not confirmed, but just speculation, it wouldn't be the first time, because Bayonetta 3 was announced at the VGAs as well. So, I mean, we actually saw it. Hopefully, I mean, it's been a long time since we've heard anything about Metroid. Metroid would absolutely have me opening up the Switch tonight. Metroid would definitely be the one to do it. But nonetheless, we will definitely find out if this is true or if it's just what we do, speculation, and that's all it ever mounts up to be. But nonetheless, if you didn't know, the VGAs will be taking place on December 7th, so definitely be on the lookout. Moving on into some more news. Now, since Bloodstained got delayed, anybody that was looking to scratch their Castlevania itch was left high and dry. But out of the blue, I mean, just out of the left side blue, we get an announcement that Castlevania Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night are coming exclusive to the PlayStation 4 on October 26th. God dog, it's releasing when Red Dead Redemption 2 is releasing. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's a totally different game. It's not really competing. It's not a new IP. So, makes sense. But it will be available only as a digital download. Now, as far as the title Rondo of Blood goes, this will be the game's official Western release 20 plus years after the game originally released on the Japanese PC Engine CD release. Now, I believe the Japanese PC Engine, I think that's the Turbo Graphics, to my knowledge. I could be wrong. Somebody check me if I am, but I think that's the Turbo Graphics. Nonetheless, the games will include updates such as 4K upscaling and trophies. So, hey, I mean, Bloodstain, that's not coming out, but, you know, at least this is. So that's cool. And it's exclusive. Man, PlayStation is killing it. Even though these are games that I won't get. Never been a Castlevania fan. Never been. I remember playing Simon's Quest on a Nintendo, and I said, man, screw this game. I'm not feeling it. But for people that are, definitely pick it up. Sure, it's going to be $20, maybe $30. And yeah, man, bring out a new one, Konami. God damn. How hard is it to bring out a new Castlevania? Jeez, updated. The only 3D Castlevania I remember was released on the Nintendo 64, and it sucked. It was bad. It was terrible. Try to go back there. I mean, but I give them credit for trying. I mean, you gotta try, you know, but, good grief, how hard is it to make another Castlevania? Gee whiz. Anyway, moving on, man. Good gosh. This show is just off the rails. Holy smoke. It was announced that Microsoft will be bringing back the XO conference. Now, it's going to take place on November 10th and 11th in Mexico City. Now, Phil is promising that there will be a lot of third-party and first-party game announcements at this event. Now, 2006, I think that was the last time that this event took place. So I'm pretty excited about this. I don't remember XO back in the day. I'm not ashamed to say it. 2006, that would be a year after the Xbox 360 released. But the thing that got me really excited about this, though, good grief, is that Phil, he is quote unquote promising that it's going to be a lot of third party. Forget the third party. I'm not really worried about the third party. I want to know what's going on with the first party, because rumors are out there saying that who is the Hellblade studio? Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory is actually getting close to finishing their project. We'll see if that's true or not. I don't know, but we're going to see. Phil, I hope that this event definitely takes off like a rocket ship, you know, into the night, and it just explodes with all kind of greatness. But we'll see. We'll see, man. I know that, just on a side note, PSX got canceled this year. So this is a good, hey, it's good for Xbox, fans. We'll see what happens. But, anyway, moving on to the next story. I'm only laughing, man. I gotta be honest with you. This show has been horrible so far. It really has been. I am forgetting topics. I'm forgetting keywords. But anyway, we're going to keep it going, man. We're going to keep it moving. Now, into the next story. Now, that's not a lot to go off of on this next story, but Bungie has filed a trademark for a new project that's simply called, and I quote, Matter. Now, like I said, it's not much here, but Eurogamer did notice that the new project was filed under two categories. Those two categories being online entertainment services and computer game software. So this could possibly be a games as a service title. Excuse me. We'll have to see what happens, but does that mean that Bungie is actually coming off of Destiny early, because I remember way back, couple of years back before Destiny even released, before we even fully knew what Destiny was, Activision's plan was a 10-year plan, which seems very, very ambitious, for a game. But could this mean that maybe Activision is cutting that down to maybe a 5-year plan instead of 10? You never know, but nonetheless, looks like Bungie is working on a new universe, and I'm very excited, and hopefully it's multi-plat and not single. So we'll see what happens, but that's about all we have for that. But moving on we're almost done, into some Fallout 76 beta news. Now, it was announced that the beta will release on October 23rd for Xbox One, and for the PlayStation 4 and PC, those players will have to wait until the 30th. But if you want to be part of this early beta access, you have to make sure you pre-order the game for this to happen. So that's cool. It's not much more to say about this, but moving into the final section of, not the final section, God dog. See what I'm saying? We off the rails right now, baby. But moving into the last topic, last gaming news topic. Mouse and keyboard support are coming to the Xbox One. Now, this was announced by Phil Spencer at Inside Xbox. Now, let's see. Yeah, this is going to be available for select Xbox Inside members in October and will be compatible with Warframe first before they do any other titles. Now, here is the quote from Mr. Mike Ybarra, and this was actually something he typed on Twitter. This was the quote he put on Twitter. He says, mouse and keyboard very close to coming to Xbox console. Lots of developers options to ensure fairness and a great experience. Choice is in the hands of the developer to do multiplayer pools, and he puts up there controller only, keyboard and mouse only, any, etc. He continues to say soon, #Xbox. To me, I think this would be a very, very good move for Microsoft to do this. I mean, their words, not mine. The PC and Xbox are all the same. They're all in the same ecosystem. And to me, this is really cool, because that means Ages of Empire could come to the console. You could have that Gears game that's mouse and keyboard come on over to the Xbox as well. I mean, this could open up quite a few avenues for the Xbox One and the X to have a lot more PC games come over. I mean, that's one good way of looking at it. Of course, some people are going to be upset because they're going to say, well, good grief, people can be cheating and having all of these, having the mouse and keyboard, not just have a controller, which is already, it's definitely a one-sided battle when it comes to that. But like he said, it's going to be the developer's choice. They are not taking the blame for this. Let me tell you, Microsoft is not going to get caught up and take the blame. Look, it's a developer's decision, and we respect their decision. They are not going to take the blame. But I guess I'm taking it if this does happen, which it looks like it is. But if the developer does decide to have it just on keyboard and mouse, I'm sure they'll put a disclaimer on the box like keyboard, mouse support only, or like you said, they'll put up their not keyboard, but controller only. So it's just going to be up to the developer, to see how they actually handle it and actually go about actually executing. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, that is the end of the gaming news this week, but stay tuned, guys, because we're going to get into the final section of the podcast. you! And welcome back, game players. Welcome back. Now we are in the final section of the podcast officially. And of course, as every week I do this, I ask you, the listener, a question and love to get your opinions. So this week's question is, did Sony have to give in to cross-play? Now, we know earlier this week, Sony gave the green light to go ahead and be compatible with the other consoles. Now, me, myself, Sony is the market leader. I personally don't think they had to give in to cross-play because, in my humble personal opinion, I don't know too many people that are vying for this. Now, I've never heard much of outrage about it. I've heard the Xbox fan boys, not the fans, but the fanboys, get up in arms about Sony not doing this. I even saw where Mike Ybarra was up there trying to tell Sony that they weren't listening to their fans. I mean, Mike, listen, you got enough problems. You worry about Microsoft and the Xbox brand, because last time I checked, y'all were down 2-1. Okay, you've been making great strides and really doing a lot of positive things, but Mike, I don't think you should be the one talking to Sony trying to get them to come on over into the cross-play realm. I mean, you got your own situation going on. Anyway, but nonetheless, they gave in. Fans were, some of the fans were saying that they wanted this feature. Now that the feature is coming, I hope people use it. I really do. And I hope that since Sony is giving, a little bit of credence to things that people want, how about Microsoft? How about Mike Ybarra, since you're the one that wants to talk, brother? How about you go out there and you drop the paywall for your free-to-play games online? Sony, last time I checked their free-to-play games, they are actually free. You don't need their PSN to play their games online. Whereas Microsoft, when it comes to Fortnite, which is a free game, it's behind a online paywall. So how about you guys do that? And, people are always going to call, oh, this is anti-consumer, this, that, and the third. That's really anti-consumer to have it that way. Whereas Sony, they were letting you guys go in there and play the game that you wanted to play, whether you had PSN or not, as long as the game was free. So I would love to get you guys' opinion on this. Once again, did Sony have to give in to cross-play? I would love to hear from you guys. You can do that two different ways, of course, by either emailing the show at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com or calling in at 443-216-9934. As always, game players, I truly appreciate you guys taking out the time to spend a little bit of time with me, actually a little over an hour to be exact, with me. Is greatly appreciated. And before we get out of here, always remember this. It's not about the consoles, people. It is about the games. So with that being said, until next time, you guys take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.